Welcome to the 7th episode of the BestYou channel. My name is BIOHACKS. I'm an engineer in computer science, a designer, an entrepreneur, and among other things, I love biotech, biomedicine, and all those hacks that make us have a greater, longer, and safer life. And starting by that, I want to say that today I will continue talking about inflammation and the parts that we missed in the last episode of the foods that we really need to eat. And this time is gonna be the small things, the small details on the foods. So it means the add-ons that we could put in our everyday lives, the little pieces that we could have as a snack, although I don't recommend snacking on a daily basis. I would recommend to have a regular and disciplined lifestyle where you can eat once, twice, or at most 3 times a day. So to have your regular mix of meals condensed in 1, 2, or at most 3 times, but not snacking, because as we're gonna see in the future, snacking will not allow your body to have this level of comfort to digest, but not also digest, to level down the insulin and per se the glucose in our blood system. So the better that we treat our body is by having our portions of food intake condensed in 1 or 2 times, basically for the most healthy advice I will give you. But if not, if you really crave for the 3 meal a day, let's do it. As long as you don't snack in between and you're consistent with the timing, and that will help also for your metabolism and for digestion and for your body to recover and have energy for other things instead of just the food that you eat. And talking back about those little details, I'm gonna start by something I really love and I've learned, because everything you have to learn. I learned to carry them on my bags, on my purses, if I'm going out, for if the time I have to snack, or if the time is I have to have a meal and I'm not home, or I'm not nearby somewhere I can eat healthy. I just have a big chunk of them, and it is nuts. Yes, the crazy nuts that we love. No, those guys, no. We're talking about nuts per se. Nuts and seeds are a must for every healthy diet and healthy lifestyle that we want to develop. So let me say why nuts are good for inflammation, because if we know already and you are eating them because some doctor told you or because you found out, yes, nuts are very good, mostly because some of them can lower your bad levels of cholesterol, as they call them, the LDL. We will talk about cholesterol another time and why LDL is not so bad, but of course, if you have high levels of any marker that will give you cardiovascular disease, is a problem. But talking back about nuts, nuts are very good for many other reasons, also because they are nutrition dense. So in this little, and I will suggest for everyone, pick the size of your hand and the amount of nuts that you can carry on your own hand. That's the amount of nuts that you could eat every day for healthy results and for good nutrition. Why? Because nuts are very nutrient dense. So that little chunk of your hand, it will be enough to get sometimes your level of copper, your level of selenium, your level of manganese, vitamins, vitamin B, vitamin D, so many vitamins are in between any other nut. But Why inflammation? Because they have ALA, a type of, let's convert it to omega-3. So they're very good fatty acids that they carry, and they will convert in our bodies into omega-3, which we know are these sources that are very good for having our body less inflamed, more nurtured, more lubricated inside, and then can have this level of breathing inside of all our cells. So omega-3 fatty acids, as I told you, if you are a fish champion, they're your crown, because fish for me is one of the healthiest food whatsoever. They bring me everything I need, especially, as we said before, the small pieces of fishes, the small fishes in the ocean are the best. Also oysters and clams and whatsoever. But if you're a vegetarian or you don't eat fish because you're allergic or other seafood, we said algae is very good too. So seaweed, eat lots of seaweed, is also very good. Sea kelp, also good for your iodine levels. And not only that, because we will talk about every of these foods later, but as we talk about inflammation, all these foods really level or lower the levels of inflammation that we can carry for other toxins that are around us, including the air we breathe, the places we are, the things we touch, the things we wrap ourselves up. And yes, I'm talking about clothing too. So sometimes clothing also can be toxic. And we're gonna go and talk about in another episode about specifically that, how certain materials can really alter our thyroid glands and alter certain hormones too. So stay tuned for other episodes about that. But now back to inflammation. Nuts. My favorites, the ones that I put all together and mix them, macadamia nuts. Here in America you can have tons of them, so go and find them. They're very good. So I will do my tier, my level per se. Walnuts number one for me. And if you've seen the shape of a walnut, what it reminds you of, yes, they are little similar to our brain, and guess what? They're so healthy for our brain. They are food for our brain. And have you ever heard that certain foods, if remind you some organ, they're good for that organ? Yeah, sometimes it is, and we will do a list later on. But walnuts are very good for our brain. Why? Because this ALA and this conversion to omega-3, and not only that, they also help with anti-inflammation all over. So walnuts, to me, if you don't find macadamia nuts or philly nuts, that also are great, but are more scarce or they are not in your budget, walnuts go all the way. So let's put it, macadamia nuts, and they're delicious. Walnuts any day, all day. Philly nuts, they're more difficult to find, but go ahead, they're really good as well. And then I love, okay, let's do this. For me, pecans are really tasteful. I love pecans. For me, they're very nice to digest. Their flavor is amazing, so I eat them very often. We also have pistachios. I wouldn't recommend to have a bunch of pistachios. So those bags that you see all the time on your drugstore or pharmacy, don't eat them all. I mix them. I try to mix everything, and that's the best way for eating. If you're gonna have a salad, mix so many vegetables. If you're gonna have a certain heavy food, mix. In the mix is where you get all the chemicals and all the nutrients that you need in a balanced way, and your body can process it. So it's a really the more colorful your food is the healthiest. Yes, and I'm not talking about ketchup, mayonnaise, tomato sauce, barbecue sauce on your burger. No, I'm talking about the salads that are really consistent with different vegetables and different cheeses if you use cheese, or different add-ons like nuts. Also, what else I told you? I told you about pecans, the ones that I really love, and this is for all the women around that want to get pregnant or are in their fertile age and they really want to have this area really good. It's Brazilian nuts. Brazilian nuts are really very good because they have a high level of selenium, and not only it helps this area for women, but it also gives your hair strength. So if you're having problems with your hair, also having at least 2 Brazilian nuts a day, you got your selenium intake done. And I will always try to find them and eat them. They're very good. And along with these nuts, and these are the nuts that I often use, I love almonds. And almonds are really good also for this area and women. But I'm so reluctant to eat them much because of other things we're gonna talk in the future. That are brown with certain foods, but if you crave for them, go for them. But as I said before, mix all your nuts. So these are my 2 go nuts, my top nuts, and those are Philly nuts, macadamia nuts, walnuts anytime, any day, pistachios a bit, and Brazilian nuts at least 2, and pecans. I love pecans. For me, are my favorite, I guess. And cashews are very good too, but in small amounts, because as you see, all these nuts, they are good to build omega-3 in our bodies, but they also have certain levels of omega-6, and sometimes it's more than the omega-3 that we can generate. So let's be conscious that if you eat a handful and your handful of nuts, that's good enough for that day, and that's what I do. When I mix my nuts, I add them. I have another add-ons that are also very anti-inflammatory and very good for cardiovascular disease as well. And those of my favorites are these green ones, the pumpkin seeds. I love my pumpkin seeds. I mean, for me, it's just the flavor, the way they mix with the nuts, they're amazing. Also good are sunflower seeds, but my ratio of how I use them, if I use, let's say, 1 teaspoon of pumpkin seeds, then I put half of sunflower seeds. And why? Because also if you eat too much of sunflower seeds, then your omega-6 starts to build up. And what we want is to have this anti-inflammatory effect, is to have more omega-3 in our body. So that's why there is always this need to have omega-3 supplementation, either from cod liver oil or any fish oil that you are used to, or if you're vegetarian, algae oil or algae omega-3 supplementation, and if not, eating the right fish and the right algae. Also, and then your nuts. So I carry my nuts everywhere along with my glasses, with my bottle glasses of chia, because of the bests, and these have more ratio of omega-3, of building omega-3 than omega-6, is chia and flax seeds. Yes, I know you heard a lot about them, and it's true. They're very good. So I always carry my little glass bottle of chia seeds because I love them. Flax is a little bigger, so I don't use it that much. I should, but I'm very happy with my chia because I can carry it all over and put it anywhere, in any yogurt. You can just have water with chia. And why chia? Chia also is used because if you drink your water with chia and the chia has been there for a little while, gets this jelly cover, it starts to turn into this jelly fin inside the water. And what it does when you drink that water, or when you eat your yogurt or you eat your salad or whatsoever you have with this chia, and this little thing goes inside your stomach and it covers it. It gives this film to your gut, to your stomach, and makes anything that you eat that has sugar go very slow. So it helps your metabolic system to not rise your insulin and to not have this spike of insulin or the glucose build up in your sugar levels, in your blood levels. So it's really amazing what chia does. Just a piece of fodder whenever you're gonna ingest chia, and if you're a first timer, please drink a lot of water. Because if you are not used to how it works, it will really alter your digestion. You will have or feel problems, feeling even gut pain. So please allow yourself to have some water anytime you have chia, and a lot of water to regulate this into your system. Also with flax, and the good things with chia and flax, if you do it freshly, you can grind them and pour them in anything. So if you're doing your juices or you're doing any food like a souffle, I love souffles, and you can put that inside, and that's amazing. So people do put them. So if you love that, it's also very good. So there you go, chia and flax seeds alongside with pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds are my top seeds to eat every day and to lower your levels of inflammation. And mix them, of course, with nuts. And what else? Yes, of course, I love these little fruits that we can pour them along all of these nuts and seeds, and they are also my number ones in fruits. And the good thing, you can eat a handful of this fruit or more than a handful of these fruits, and they will not spike your insulin or your sugar levels in your blood. And those are, of course, blueberries, strawberries. Go ahead and eat a lot. If you are really hungry and your broccoli didn't fill you, or whatever healthy diet you are in, it didn't fill you, go eat your blueberries, strawberries, and eat a bunch of them. They will be very good. They are very safe to eat. You can also mix them with blackberries or any other berry that you have around, and even sometimes cherries are very good too, for just a mix. Do a good mix, and when you don't have much of something, but if you have a balanced diet, and then you are good to go, and to probably lower your levels of inflammation. So blueberries and strawberries anytime. Go ahead, not anytime as a snacks, I'm saying anytime you're gonna eat, that is your time for eating. If you're really hungry, you can fill yourself with that, and it will be very beneficial for your body. They also are very good for having anti-inflammatory effects. Another thing to add on, if you're doing this mix, this bowl of things that we just talked about, coconut oil. Yes. Coconut oil is very good for one reason: extra virgin coconut oil, cold press. And yes, it has fats, and certain fats are inflammatory. But the good thing of, and let's go back to why we have sometimes inflammation, and we said we have sometimes bacteria and viruses that come along whatever we're going through, and sometimes it's the air, sometimes it's touching something, sometimes it's eating something, sometimes it's just our immune system going lower and just catching them. But anyhow, we sometimes build this bacteria and virus up, right? So coconut oil, as also as lemon, are very antibacterial, and they really help. And so if you have a consistent use of coconut oil, you will have less bacteria grow inside your body, or wherever if you put it on top of something too. Some people do this mouth cleaning with coconut oil, and it's really good, especially if you suffer of gum disease. And so if you don't want to do it now, put a spoon in whatever mix you are doing with your strawberries, with your blueberries, with your nuts. It's delicious. I love coconut oil. I don't know a person who doesn't like coconut oil. I mean, I haven't asked, but I think it's just to me it's fabulous. Okay, we're done with coconut oil. We will talk about coconut oil and all the benefits later, but before my mind goes into another subject, I want to mention other antibacterial, antiviral good things that we can eat on a daily basis. Okay, maybe it's not good to mix them with blueberries or strawberries, but to me, these things are an everyday you have to eat. To me, at least, to not suffer anything. And I've learned to admire them since very little, because in my country's cuisine they're very well used in almost any dish, and those are garlic and onion. Garlic and onion are a must for anti-inflammatory effects, number one in anything. So if you don't have any pill, if you don't have any of the other foods I mentioned, but you have garlic and onion, go ahead and do some food with your garlic and your onion. Why? Many reasons. Let's start with garlic. Garlic per se, it has allicin, and onion also does, but in more proportions, it does the garlic. And this garlic, when you cut it and you feel this little juice that it takes, and if you start doing this, and just the knife, if you chop the garlic, you're producing this substance, the allicin, that really it's very good when you eat it, when you ingest it, for anti-inflammatory effects. So not only that, garlic has a lot of antioxidants and it's also antibacterial. So a lot of things are good with garlic. They taste delicious. So please use garlic and use onions also chop. And I know this is, we call it a meat or whatever, folk, but have you ever heard, if you have a flu or cold, put an onion on your socks, or sleep with your onion, or sleep with an onion next to you? And some doctors claim, no, it's not, there's no research for that, it's such a fullness. But it's not. Actually try it. And I tried it, and I made it try to people that had lowered their immune system, and it kind of helped. And I can explain you specifically why, but okay. Onions, why are also good for anti-inflammatory effects? Because same as garlic, and they are in the same family. They are this substance called allium, so they're part of the allium, let's say, group. And allicin and allium gives your body this level of anti-inflammatory power, and it also these two give you these antioxidants that helps your immune system to be stronger. So either way, you are sick or not, garlic and onions help you have stronger and very strong immune systems. And not only that, there is quercetin in both of them, and quercetin is very antihistaminic. So if you have them on a daily basis, quercetin, it will help you with your flu or your cold, and even with sores. So I do believe that onions in your socks will help. There's this Asian theory that because you put them on your feet, then you're pressing these points on your feet that then go to your whole body and helps the system. So it could be also that, but even if you put a piece of onion on your side and you sleep, oh no, it smells, it has a particular smell because it's the sulfur, and also sulfur compounds help. It's a remedy for also anti-inflammatory effects and to level up your immune system. So whatever it is, if it's the sulfur, the allicin, the allium, or the quercetin, they work. And if you put your onion aside you and you sleep with it, the smell of the substance will help inside your body. So I do believe on it. I don't think it's a myth or folk. I think it's true. There is no per se money put into it, but I believe it. Try it out. And if you don't want to try it out and put it on your sock or next to you, just eat it every day. Also garlic. If you eat 1 clove of garlic every day, it will probably make you lose weight, and that's what most people want if they have problems with their liver or obesity. And also going along this side, we're going to talk about cloves. Cloves are also so beneficial, anti-inflammatory. They are also very good for gum disease. So even if you ever have a tooth problem, a toothache, just bite your clove. Have a clove and bite it and chew it and bite it and have it just there. Anesthesia is made with some of the compounds from clove. So clove has this anesthetic effect, but not only that, apart from it, it's very anti-inflammatory and also antibacterial. So if you have gum disease and have any bacteria around there, just have your clove there, sitting there, and it will help you over time. Go see a dentist or a doctor if you have more inflammation, also for lymph nodes. It's very good. So all this mix. And the last of all of those little details, ginger. Ginger is amazing as well. So I'm not talking about ginger cookies, although I do them. Even though I have a website for those, I told you about it. I will talk about it later. But ginger per se is also very anti-inflammatory. It also strengthens your immune system and it helps with bacteria. So have them, and I give you a bunch: garlic, onion, ginger, clove. They're a must too. If you can use them a little every day, you have yourself a winner. With no supplements, you already regulate your system. And I'm forgetting about one. I think I mentioned it before, but curcumin, turmeric. I still talk about it. Curcumin, turmeric. For people that don't know what curcumin is, curcumin is the substance that turmeric has that is very anti-inflammatory, anti-cancerous, antibacterial whatsoever. So mixed with pepper, with ground pepper, black ground pepper, mix it because it will help utilize it more in our body. So these are the very little details that we all need every day to have a higher, strong immune system, and to lower any levels of inflammation we might have anywhere. So it's not only gum disease, sore throats, anything in your body. It's really helpful. Also, some of them will help with back down cirrhosis and liver problems. So have a good look of the foods that you eat and try to add them up. The fresher the better. So if you can just chop your garlic and put it on whatever you're doing, go ahead. Also your onions, the fresher the better. I mean, I love caramel onions, but it's sugar, so once in a while, okay, let's do it. But if you can have just simple chopped onions, or just stir fry them a little with olive oil or coconut oil, avocado oil, let's do it. But these small details go a long way, a very long way for anti-inflammatory effects on our body. So we can have a diet where we can mix all of those. You're really not gonna need to go much to the doctor, I tell you. You're gonna help if you have cancer problems, if you have liver problems, if you have gum problems, if you have any chronic inflammation. A diet with these small details will really level your inflammation going down. And for all that, I will wrap this up saying that there is this blood test that we can all have, get it done, which is the C-reactive protein test in our blood, to see the levels in the levels that we are. So the level of inflammation we have doesn't specifically tell you where, but then it tells you, okay, there is some inflammation, we have to address it. So if you're about to go to your doctor, your primary care, request it. Most insurance will cover it immediately if you request it, and then you will know if you really have some inflammation around, if it's chronic or not, because as I told you before, sometimes we don't feel it inside until it bleeds or until there is some development of pain, but it takes time for really know we have some inflammation. So I'll be wrapping this up, and next episode we're gonna finish about talking inflammation in another way of helping inflammation going down, not only foods I told you before, and we will address that. And until then, I see you soon. I hope you become the best you with every episode that you see. See you soon.